Okay, good morning. So what actually this 30 days Python, what we cover? Okay, so we know, so the duration is 30 days and daily 1 hour. So daily it's 6 a.m. IST to 7 a.m. IST. So this is the daily schedule, and then 30 days we are actually learning Python. So, Python everywhere now. So Python is everywhere. So the reason is, if you see nowadays, like, everywhere people are talking about AI, right? Artificial intelligence. So the AI, if you observe, like, the backend, let's say, for example, if you take a generative AI, like, for example, ChatGPT we use daily. So the ChatGPT, the backend, it actually used Python, right? To implement that LLMs and all GPT models. Python is very powerful language for that. Not only in AI, everywhere nowadays people are using Python for automation. So for automation means it's not like test automation. Let's say you are doing something manually, but if you don't want to do that manually, like daily what you are doing in your regular tasks in the real-time environment. So you can, if you know the Python, and then you can write some code and then you can automate it easily. But there are other programming languages also. But why Python? So we have a Java, we have a .NET, C language, C++, some other languages as well. So the first thing, if you compare with other programming languages, Python is very simple. Let's say I want to print some hello world message. If you want to print some hello world, just hello world statement. Anyone here, tell me in C language how we can write this hello world? Just text here in the chart. In C language, if anyone aware of it, if you want to print hello world, how to print? What is the function and how to write it? Is that possible only with printf hello world? If I use just printf, do you think it prints hello world? So Srilata said, okay, printf hello world. Sri Lalita. Okay. Can we write directly like this? Print hello world. Is it accepts by C compiler? Or yeah, Purushottam, just don't uh, do this by all the drawings and all, please. Okay, so tell me, is it only printf? Revati, okay, A equal to hello world print A. Okay, you use some variable that is different. Okay. So we shall actually, yeah, hash include something main, these are required, right? So if you want to write just hello world program in C language, minimum lines like hash include, then something stdio.h, standard input output header file. And then something main function is required here. And then body of the program. So this is how we write generally. If you observe here, in any programming language, either C or C++, Java, again, it's required even class statement to print some hello world statement. So any programming language, you cannot simply write just print. The reason is, if you want to print this hello world message, we are giving instructions to this computer. I want this message. But for that, we are writing some language. This language actually what programming language to communicate the computer, right? So how we are speaking now, we are speaking in some language. So I'm speaking in English now. Since you know the language, we are able to communicate. So human communication languages like English, Telugu, Hindi, these are. Similar way, how we can communicate with the computer, one programming language. It can be C language or C++, Java, like that. How you can communicate AI? Anyone? So let's say I want to communicate some artificial intelligence, how we communicate. So you use daily ChatGPT, right? How you are communicating with ChatGPT. With some prompt. You're giving some prompt, right? That prompt, whatever you provide, the AI will understand and then it will give you the result, right? So there is a communication now. So communication between humans, language, what we are speaking like this, and then the system communication is different. So while communicating here, thus using with C language, the C compiler, it will not understand the function directly. So the C compiler, it will understand this print function with the header file. So which means what? This printf function available in this header file, that is a standard input output header file, which is a library file. So in this library having a lot of functions, built-in functions, one of the function is printf. So what is the behavior of printf? It defined in this header file. So when you write C programming, the hello world message with the printf function. So first of all, what is this printf? How it understands by C compiler? Because of this header file, because in this header file, it already defined the code for the printf function. So if whenever it use printf, then printf means display something. So that is there, that is already defined in this header file. The behavior of printf is defined here. So that is the reason we are including this header file, then only it understands. So likewise, if you compare whatever here in programming, like with programming and Python, the programming languages are something like, the lengthy code we have to write because there are a lot of dependencies like this. Not only this, even if you define some variables you cannot define directly a equal to 10. While defining the variable itself, we need to decide what type of data it is, like int a equal to 10. So this is an integer type. So the data type is must. So what type of data? So data type, it's a static data type, we call it as in programming. So what is static data type? The static data type is nothing but defining the data type before assigning the value to the variable. Satish, don't do this on the diagram. See, I'm okay. So whenever if you are writing any variable in programming language, the data type is must. We are defining what is the type of the value. So that is an integer type or float type or string type or something character type, long, short, double, like that. There are different data types available. So as a programmer, again, we should know what is the type of this variable here. So try to understand, right? Data types must when you define a variable. But now in Python, it's like an English language. So it's like an English language. you don't need to define these all the things like header files to write just hello world message. You don't need to define the data types when you define the variable. So it is very simple to define the variables, like it's a dynamic data type, first thing. And then second, anyone can understand the Python code easily and anyone can write easily. So only simple thing is if you know the how to use the system, then okay. Means how to use the computer, if you know, then you can write the Python code as well. It's like directly English style, English language. Let's say in English, so how we can say hello world, I want to print. So print hello world, right? So you just use like that, print. And then what? Hello world. So we print like this. So print hello world we use directly. So it is very simple to understand and then implement. But the additional advantage is, so see, the first step is writing the code, understanding the code, implementation of the code is simple. Anyone can understand, anyone can write. And second important thing, there is a huge repository for Python. So repository means what? So repository is a one place, all the libraries here it is available, like how we are using in our mobile. Like, for example, if you are using Android phone, so if you want to install any mobile application, so from where you install? Let me open this. Yeah, from where you install mobile applications in Android phone? From the Play Store. So Play Store is a one repository. In the repository, already all the applications available, apps available. So we are just installing from there. But to install that any app from the Play Store, is it easy or you need to write some program for that? It is easy. Just we type the name and then we install. Just download and install. It takes maybe 2 to 3 minutes, right? It is very easy. The similar way, for Python, we have a repository called pypy.org. It's like a Play Store, how we install the apps, similar way. So here, for all the platform related, for example, if you want to work with AI, or if you want to work with cloud computing, or if you want to work with IoT, Internet of Things, if you want to work with something, a database, or if you want to develop some games, whatever the platform it is, the platform related modules available, you don't need to write it. It is already available here. So only thing what we need to know, what is the module and how to install it. So how we are installing from the Play Store, if you know, for example, I want to install something. Let's say you are using some bank, maybe ICICI, then ICICI related app I want to install. So we go and search that ICICI app and then we install from the repository. That is from the Play Store. Similar way, if you want to work with something database, how to install that module, we call it as a module. So that we need to know here. So which means already there are a lot of modules it implemented. You can see the count here. So it's a 1,41,18,967 files. Each file is one module. This many modules available. Now you may think that, okay, is this easy to remember these names? Why we need to remember, right? So let's say now you are using Play Store. Do you have idea how many applications or how many apps available in the Play Store? No one knows. But what we do, what app we need, only that app we install. That's it. Same thing here also. No matter how many files or how many modules available, Based on your requirement, what you want to work. Based on that requirement, we install the module. And then we work with that module. That's it. You don't need to install all the modules. Now, question is like, okay, why this all the modules not coming with by default Python? So same question again, repeat. You can repeat like this, like, okay, why all the apps not coming by default in our mobile? Space issue, right? Similar kind of thing here also. If you install all the modules, what is the reason for that? Since we are not using it. So it is same. You can compare with the apps how we are using in the mobile. Only the required apps we install similar way based on our platform. Let's say you are working in cloud computing using with AWS. You don't want to use this AWS daily manually, like, log into the console and then working this other things. You can simply install only the module related to AWS, and then you can directly write Python code to automate that AWS. Whatever platform it is, it can be a database, it can be administration, networking, cybersecurity, or whatever, like, the platform you are in, AI, wherever, data engineering, data science. So the concept is same. So it is applicable everywhere. So to that, we need first Python basics, because even if you download the module, if you're not aware how to use that, then what is the use of that? Let's say you downloaded some app, but if you're not aware how to use that, then there is no use, right? So same thing here. So we will understand in this first, first week is like this. Let me share you this. So first week, so I explained that, okay, Python is everywhere. So Python is beginner friendly, high level programming language. So it's used in web development, data science, AI, automation, and many more. You name it, it will be there, Python. You name it, any technology, Python will be there. But why this is very much famous recently means like only because of this AI. Whatever the GPT models people are developing, like DeepSeek or Grok, whatever, like ChatGPT, everywhere Python involved. So Python modules involved. And then especially like DevOps, a lot of tools in the DevOps, it implemented using with Python. For example, Ansible. Ansible completely written in Python. DevOps tools, right? So a lot of DevOps tools. And people are using this for automation and many more, right? So known for simple syntax, easy to read and write. That just now we discussed print syntax, right? So this is the areas, the main areas I have mentioned here, web development. But web development, we need some tools as well. That is Django, Flask, Pyramid. These are the tools, MVC tools we call it as. MVC or MVT, Model View Controller or Model View Template. So along with Python skill, we also need Django, Flask to develop some web applications. For the data science, along with Python, you also require to know the modules, pandas, numpy. So automation, that is a Python scripting, whatever we are learning, that is more enough for that. You can automate your particular platforms using with Python. And if you want to switch to the AI or ML in future, if you have a strong roadmap for that, and then Python first basic for the AI, like if you are planning for AI or machine learning. And then for that, actually, there are some modules called TensorFlow and Scikit-learn. There are, again, some other modules like it uses Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, this all. And similar way, if you want to develop some any games, and then Python is the best language for that. Everywhere, like as I told, IoT, Internet of Things, everywhere it is used. So that's the reason Python is more powerful nowadays, like everyone using Python. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Any questions as of now here? Anyone? So if it is clear, just type here C in the chat box. Just type C in the chat box. Okay, fine. So what I'll do now, I'll just create some breakout room. So nothing discussed. We just discussed a very basic level, not started anything. But you guys need to discuss what 3 top learnings today, what you understood actually Python. So I'll create a